Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammāsambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammāsambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammāsambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I pay homage to my teacher, Lokavidū. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And Venerable Mahasangha in this monastery, and meritorious devotees. Today from this discourse also, we will be able to listen, we will be able to know about child. Okay. In this world, let's suppose like this. If there is a person without knowing this Dhamma, it's like this. Now, there is a person of his whole lifetime, he lived in dark. Can you understand? Yes. Okay? So, he lives in dark. Then the light of the sun is not there. Everywhere is dark. Then, when he wants to do his day-to-day activities, he uses a torch. How do you use that one? Torch or flashlight? Flashlight. In Sri Lanka. But here, flashlight. Okay? A person he uses a flashlight to do his day-to-day activities. To go for jobs, to earn money, and to take food, to drink, to go here and there, to dance, to laugh. Okay? With the help of that flashlight. Then, as you think, is there a need in his life for seeking a light of a sun? He enjoys with that flashlight. He is satisfied with that flashlight. Is there a need of a light of sun? No. He doesn't want. The reason is he thinks, oh, everything is okay. Can you understand? Okay, everything is okay. Now I have done all things, then now I can enjoy my life, I have money, now I have children. In this way. But the thing is, he doesn't know the story of a sun. But there is a story about a sun. Can you understand? But with that light of that flashlight, he can see only a limited area. But he thinks, okay, this is my world. But beyond that area, there is another area, unknown area. But he comes to a conclusion, okay, this is the world. In this way, all ordinary beings, we can say, without knowing this Dhamma, they live in that thick dark. But this Dhamma is like the light of the sun. When the sun arises, then the darkness will disappear. Then all beings will see all the things of far away. This Dhamma is like that. Can you understand? So, if we don't use this Dhamma to get the light of that Dhamma, then though the sun arises, still we are in in the dark. So remember, this Dhamma is like the light of the sun. It's a great light. Then you will be able to understand a lot of things about this light. Now you have been learning a lot of Dhamma, a lot of discourses. Okay. When we are listening to this Dhamma, or when we are following this Dhamma, can you remember I mentioned the most important thing? That's the initial factor of listening this Dhamma. What is that factor? No? Pleasant mind. Cultivate a pleasant mind about the knowledge of Supreme Buddha. That is the initial factor. Pasannacitto, to have a pleasant mind. That pleasant mind should be cultivated each of our lives. Then, when we listen to these teachings, then some days you listen to the discourses which were delivered by our great teacher to monks, and some are to lay followers. But the only thing is, when we listen to those things, if we can establish or cultivate that pleasant mind, then it is the most important thing. Can you understand? So, we must cultivate a pleasant mind about the knowledge of Buddha with the understanding of that araham state. When you listen to these discourses, can't you understand that quality? Yes, really. Oh, our great teacher really was an araham. That's why our great teacher could teach us to eradicate passion, because he was an araham, eradicated passion. That's why he could teach us to eradicate hatred. He eradicated hatred. He understood everything about this life. That's why he could teach us without any doubt. This is the way. This is the clear way. With great compassion and loving kindness, he advises, so you follow this way. This is the way to real happiness. This is the way to satisfaction. Then that pleasant mind should be there about that knowledge as an araham. Then Supreme Buddha understood this Four Noble Truths. Now you have been learning all these discourses about what? Four Noble Truths. Then about the second quality. Supreme Buddha is sammāsambuddho, fully enlightened. Understood Four Noble Truths without anyone's help. In this way, that saddha or confidence or pleasant mind should be cultivated. Then he had lot of extraordinary knowledge about the past lives of beings, about this long journey of samsara, coming through animals world, hell, God's world, human world, in this way. How could the Supreme Buddha teach those things? Because of those knowledge. And then there should be a pleasant mind about that knowledge. Vijjācaranasampanno. Then Supreme Buddha was the teacher who discovered Noble Eightfold Path. Following that Noble Eightfold Path, for the first time, he achieved Nibbana, real happiness. This is the quality about sublime, sugato. Then pleasant mind should be cultivated about that quality. Can't you establish that confidence or pleasant mind when you are learning this Dhamma? You can. Then there are no doubts about world. So our great teacher understood every word. That's why he could teach the way to escape from all worlds. Lokavidū, knower of worlds. then can't you understand that by this Dhamma, the way of taming people is compassion? That is that quality. Anuttaro purisadammasārathi. Incomparable leader of persons to be tamed. Today we are tamed by that Dhamma. We are trying to understand the Dhamma. Then satthā devamanussānam. Supreme Buddha is a teacher of gods and humans. In this way, by understanding Four Noble Truths without anyone's help, then he taught all the things without remaining anything in his hand. Buddha. And then Blessed One. Supreme Buddha is the one and only teacher to fit to all these qualities. This is called saddha, or pleasant mind about the knowledge of Buddha. This is the key to follow this noble path. Is it clear? Okay. So today also we are going to discuss very important discourse, very powerful discourse, and you will surprised about the knowledge, excellent knowledge of Buddha. In this discourse, you will be able to find the complete path to Nibbana by developing serene meditation and by developing insight meditation. It's very, very clearly that explains all these things in this discourse. The name of this discourse is Mahāmālunkyasutta, the discourse to Málunkyaputta Bhante, to Venerable Mahāmālunkyasutta, the greater discourse. That's why it's called Mahāmālukyasutta. Have you heard? No. Okay, you are very lucky. So from middle length discourses, can you remember that at the beginning I mentioned about that darkness? Okay. Now I am going to ask a question from you. Okay. Do you know about fetters in this Dhamma name? In this Dhamma? Okay. How many fetters are there? 10 fetters. Okay. I think you are trying to come out from that darkness. Okay. So it's very, very important, because how do you know about that there are 10 fetters? Where are those 10 fetters? In our own mind. So though those 10 fetters are in our mind, did you know before listening to this Dhamma? That is the nature of the mind in dark. Can you understand? That's it. When we listen to this Dhamma, then the light will come to our life. Then we will know. Okay. On one occasion, the Blessed One was staying at Savatthi, Jetas Grove, Anathapindika's monastery. There, Supreme Buddha addresses monks, asks question. Dāreta no tumme bhikkhave maya desitani orambhāgiyam samyojanam. Means, monks or bhikkhus, do you remember the orambhāgiyam samyojanam? The 5 law fetters as taught by me. How many fetters here? 5 law fetters. orambhāgiyam samyojanam means 5 law fetters. Especially, this is very, very important Dhamma. It understood in this life, there are 10 fetters. As an araham, then that noble disciple attain arahantship, then all those 10 fetters will be eradicated from his life. Okay? But then Buddha divides these 10 fetters into 2 categories. First one is orambhāgiyam samyojanam. 5 lower fetters. Okay? Then other 5 are called uddhamvāgiyam samyojanam. 5 higher fetters. What is the reason to be known as in this separate way? Lower fetters means because of these lower fetters lead to give the rebirth in lower world. That's why those fetters are called lower fetters. There are 5 fetters, lower fetters. So the question was, do you remember about that 5 lower fetters as I taught by me? Yeah. So then we can understand not only Buddha teaches Dhamma, but he questions. Do you remember? Can you remember? If I ask from you, can you remember the name of the discourse last week we discussed last week? Good. Vijjācaranasampanno. About desire? Can you remember? Yes. Okay. So then, in that assembly, there was that Venerable Mahāmālunkyaputta. Okay? So then, Bhante Mahāmālunkyaputta was ready to give the answer. He said, yes, Bhante, I know. I can remember about the 5 law fetters as taught by Blessed One. I can remember. When I ask from you, you also say, oh, we know. Okay, we know. In this way, that Málunkyaputta, that Venerable Mahāmālunkyaputta says, I know. I remember the 5 law fetters as taught by Blessed One. Then Supreme Buddha asked, okay, how do you remember 5 law fetters as taught by me? Then Málunkyaputta, Bhante says, Venerable Sir, Bhante, I remember sakkayadithi ko aham bhante bhagavā orambhāgiyam samyojanam desitam dhāri. I remember the identity as a law of fetter taught by the Blessed One. Then vijjācaranasampanno. I remember doubt as a law of fetter taught by the Blessed One. Then I remember rituals and observances, silabbata paramasa, as a law of fetter taught by the Blessed One. Kāma-chanda. I know sensual desire as a law of fetter taught by the Blessed One. Vyāpāda. I know ill will as a law of fetter. I remember as a law of fetter, the Blessed One taught by the Blessed One. How many fetters are there? 5 fetters. 5 law of fetters. Now can you remember? If you give the answer, okay. Do you remember 5 law of fetters?
Yes, sir.
What is the first one? Identity. Next one? Doubt. Third one? Rituals and observances. Next one? Sensual desire. Last one? Ill will. As you think, are you correct?
Yes.
Okay. Then, Buddha explains Málunkyaputta, to whom did I teach in this way? To remember 5 law fetters. To whom did I teach in this way about 5 law fetters? Then Supreme Buddha explains, if you try to explain about 5 law fetters in this way, the people of other religions, they will laugh to you, they will joke you, and they will confuse you with taking the simile of the infant, taking the simile of the infant, that taking the simile of the baby, they will joke you. Okay? They will ask you. Why? They will ask. Saying that, taking that simile, they will ask, how do you say about that identity view in the case of a baby, in the case of a baby's life? Now that infant lies on the throne, he doesn't know anything, and he hasn't the notion about the sakkāya. He doesn't know about sakkāya. So how could identity arise in that little baby? At least he doesn't know about identity. So how could identity view arise in that infant? They will ask you. Okay? Yes. And then Buddha explains, now can you remember the danger of having these 5 law fetters?
Can be born in lower world.
Yes. Because of having these 5 law fetters, then always there will be a birth in lower world. It may be in hell, in animals world, in God's world, and even in the human world also. Because of this law fetters, we come to this human world also with this law fetters. And in the heavenly world also, it's also in this sensual world with law fetters. Let's suppose like this. Now there is a little child, baby. In his life, aren't there these 5 law fetters? Does he know? He doesn't know. But has he escaped from the danger to be reborn in a lower world? No. That's why it says, we are born in dark, and we live in dark, and we die in dark. And we go with that darkness to the next world. And again, we are in dark. Can you understand? Okay, then Buddha explains second one. This infant lies on this throne. He doesn't know about Dhamma. Even Dhamma, he doesn't know about Dhamma. So how could doubt arise in him as a fetter? They will ask from you. Then, in this infant life, he doesn't know about precepts. So how could rituals and observances arise in him as a fetter? They will ask. Then that infant, he doesn't know about sensuality. 5 codes of sensual pleasure, he doesn't know about those things. So how could the sensual desire arise in him? Did you think about this one? And he doesn't know about the things to get angry, and he doesn't know about those things. Oh, that person, he doesn't know about that person, or whether he play or those things, he doesn't know. Only he knows to cry. Okay? So how could ill will arise in him? They will ask. Then Buddha explains, there is that identity view in that infant life as an underlying tendency in the depth of his mind. Can you understand? When the times come, when he grow up, then that identity view will come out. But it is there as an underlying tendency. It's called anusayana, as an underlying tendency. In the depth of his mind, there is that identity view. Can you understand? Okay. So what is the meaning of identity view? Now you know all these things?
Notion of self.
Yes. Without the real understanding, real nature of five aggregates of clinging, a person considers these five aggregates of clinging as self, as mind. This is called sakkayadithi-identity. He considers this form as mind, this physical body as myself, derived from four great elements. Okay, so that's the description here. Then that okay, we can consider that one later. Then again Buddha explains, there is that doubt as the law of fetter in that infant life as an underlying tendency in the depth of his mind. And there is that next fetter, rituals and observances as an underlying tendency in the depth of his mind. And there is that sensual desire as a law of fetter as an underlying tendency in the depth of his mind. And there is that ill will as an underlying tendency in the depth of his mind. Who says this way? Buddha. Explain to that Málunkyaputta Bhante. How do you explain this way? To whom did I teach in this way about five law fetters? Then in that place, Venerable Ananda was there. Then Venerable Ananda asked from Blessed One, Etatsa bhagavā kālo. Now it is the time, Bhante. Etatsa sugata kālo. Now it is the time, Blessed One. Now please, Bhante, please teach us about five law fetters. Having heard, the monks will remember it. Okay, now our knowledge and Málunkyaputta Bhante's knowledge is same. But it is not a perfect knowledge. Okay? When we ask, okay, what are the five law fetters? We say identity view, doubt, rituals and observances, sensual desire, and ill will. But it is not a perfect answer. Then now Venerable Ananda asks from Blessed One to teach. Then Blessed One Supreme Buddha began to explain, there is an untaught ordinary person in this case. Who is there? Ordinary person, Puthujjana. Now do you know the nature of that ordinary person's life? Here there is that Ariyanam Adassami. That ordinary person, he doesn't know about Buddha and about araham. He hasn't that vision of araham, of Buddha. Arya Dhamma Sakoi, he is not skilled in that noble path. Arya Dhammi Avinita, he is not disciplined in that Dhamma. He doesn't know about true friends. He is not skilled in that true friends Dhamma. He doesn't discipline. He isn't He isn't disciplined in that Dhamma. Is it clear? Okay, now this ordinary person, then Buddha explains, he is covered with that identity view. He is enveloped with that identity view. And uppannāya sakkayadiṭṭhiya nissaranam yathābhūtam nappajjanāti. He doesn't know to escape from arising identity view. He doesn't know the way to escape from identity view. Then it will be a hard fetter in his life. Then it is called a lower fetter. Is it clear? The reason is his life is covered with that identity view and he doesn't know to escape from that identity view. So again and again he goes with that identity view. He lives with that identity view. Then it is a hard fetter in his life. It is called the low fetter of identity view. What's the meaning here? Now he doesn't know about the real nature of these five aggregates of cleaning. So again and again he considers his physical body or form as mind and myself. So he doesn't know to escape from this identity because he doesn't know this Dhamma. From this Dhamma, one will know that this form is derived from earth element, water element, heat element and air element. But that ordinary person, he doesn't know. So he considers about this head hair, body hair and skin, bones, teeth, lungs, liver, all these things, this earth element as mind, as myself. He doesn't know how to escape from this deluded view. Is it clear? Then, that ordinary person in his life, his life is covered with doubt. Covered with doubt. In all ways, there are doubts about this life, about this Dhamma, and always he questions, from where did I come, to where will I go, who am I in this way. He doesn't know about dependent origination, Paticcasamuppada, and cause and effect system. He doesn't know. So, then again and again, he has to live with that doubt. So then, and he doesn't know to escape from that doubt. So then it will be a low fetter in his life as doubt. Is it clear? Then Buddha explains, Sīlabbata paramāsa pariyakkhitena cetasa. Then that ordinary person's life is covered with rituals and observances. Then he doesn't know about Noble Eightfold Path, so he practices so many things, thinking to achieve satisfaction or pleasure to his life. And then he doesn't know the escape, Nissarana. He doesn't know about Nissarana. Nissarana means escape. He doesn't know how to escape from this rituals and observances. Again and again, only thing he has to live with that rituals and observances. Can you remember now? He hasn't association of noble friends. He hasn't association of true friends. He doesn't know about this Dhamma. So again and again, it will be the friend in his life as a fetter. Then sensual desire. His life, that ordinary person's life, is covered with sensual desire. Uppannasya kāmarāgasa nissaraṇam yathābhūtam nappajānāti. He doesn't know the escape of arising sensual desire. Only thing is, again and again, he has to struggle with that sensual desire. Then it will be a low fetter in his life. Can you understand? So always that ordinary person, he has to live with these 5 fetters. He doesn't know the way to escape from these 5 fetters. So always he lives with that danger to be reborn in a lower world. Then his life is covered with ill will. He doesn't know to escape from that ill will. So then it is called a fetter. Then that ill will is a fetter, as a law fetter. That fetter is in his life. He is covered with that fetter. This is the life of an ordinary person. Now in this world, there are such kind of ordinary persons with this condition. But do they know about this danger? No. They don't know how to escape from this law of fetters. So again and again, they have to live with this law of fetters. Then Buddha explains, Suttavājiko ānanda ariyasāva. Now there is the noble disciple. He has the vision of Buddha, and about this teaching he knows. And he is skilled in this Dhamma. He considers wisely about this Dhamma. He follows precepts and he tries to understand Four Noble Truths. His life is not covered with that identity. He knows the way to escape from arising identity. So, from the depth of his mind, can you remember about that underlying tendency? That underlying tendency to identity view will be eradicated from his life. Why is the reason? His life is not covered with identity view, and he knows the way to escape from that identity view. This is the life of a noble disciple. I tell you, this is a very powerful and very important discourse, so we must try to understand this one. What's the meaning here? The way to escape from identity. It is very important. First of all, we must know what is identity view. Now we know identity view. We know about identity view. Sakkaya means 5 aggregates of clinging. Then sakkayadithi or identity view means a person considers these 5 aggregates of clinging as self, as mind. This noble disciple, he tries to understand this identity view arises in a life because of lack of knowledge. about this form, then he considers, what is form? According to this Dhamma, he considers, oh, form is this. Then he thinks, it is not suitable to consider, it is not fit to consider this physical body as mind. He can understand this form as it actually is with the help of this Dhamma. Now he divides this form, this body. Okay, these are earth elements, then blood, urine, saliva, and tears, and these things, water element, and there is a heat in this life, heat element, the digesting the food because of that heat, and it will help to aging because of that heat. Then he can understand, okay, this is heat element or fire element. Then in his life there is in and out breathing, air element, and air in stomach, and in his body, air element. So then he tries to understand the real nature of this form. Form is as a form. Form is as a form, as understood by our great teacher. It is subject to change and subject to dissolution. That's why it's called form, like a form, glimpse of form. Then he tries to understand the feeling aggregate of things. In this life now it's very important to understand these five aggregates of clinging in our life. Can you understand? Then feeling is, in this life there are pleasant feelings, unpleasant feelings, and neutral feelings through these 6 bases. So then he considers, okay, all these feelings are dependent on contact. The form is dependent on 4 great elements, and the feeling is dependent on contact. Then he considers, when the contacts are changing, the feelings are changing. In this way, there is a person called self here. And it is wrong to consider these changing feelings as mind. Then he develops his wisdom. Can you understand very clearly about this form in your life? That one is okay. Can you understand about the feeling aggregate regarding your life? Can you experience those feelings? Okay. Now, that is about that feeling. Then can you understand or can you identify about perceptions in this life? It is called sanya, perception aggregate of clinging. Perception of form, perception of sound, perception of odor, perception of taste, perception of tangible. Can you understand this nature in our life? Okay, then that noble disciple, he investigates about this perception. Always this perception is changing. Can you understand? It changes always. And we cannot control that one. Then he considers in this way. Because the perception, all the perceptions are dependent on content. Then step by step, that hard view, that hard fetters, step by step it will be eradicated in his life. Step by step. Because of what? Because of his wise consideration. Now you have to use your knowledge, all knowledge you get from good past, listen to last all discourses. So you have used that knowledge. Then, can you understand about formations in your life? When we see a form, can you understand we use our volition? We think about that one. Then having seen that one, we talk about that one. Can you understand that one? It's called formation aggregate. But when Buddha understood always this form formation, sound formation and this all formations are dependent on again content. All formations, they change. Always they change because of the changing of content. Is that one clear? Then can you understand about the process of consciousness in your life? When you open your eyes, then you will cognize that form. Then there will be a connection between form, eye, form and your mind. That mind, the nature of that cognitive nature is called consciousness. Can you understand that one? Okay. Consciousness of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind. 6 consciousness. Then again this consciousness is dependent on mentality and materiality. Now that noble disciple, he considers wisely in this way. Because of this wise consideration, now is step by step. This here noble disciple means here the life of an arahant, okay? Arahant's life. Now the identity view is eradicated in his life because of the real understanding about this identity view. And he understood the arranging or arising of identity view. Can you understand the way he followed? Then that noble disciple understood the way to eradicate that identity view. What is the way I must consider? Is it clear? Okay. This is a very, very important thing. Okay. Then he considers, then Supreme Buddha explains, in that noble disciple's life, now his life is not covered with doubt. He is free from that doubt. And he knows the way to escape from doubt. So that fetter has a doubt, that fetter is eradicated in his life. As a law of fetter. How to eradicate? Oh, what is the way? It comes the doubt to a life. Because of unwise consideration. What is the reason to doubt? Unwise consideration. He considers about past, about future, about present life unwisely. Without knowing this Dhamma. Can you understand? So, again and again, there will be doubt in his mind. Because he hasn't the knowledge about dependent origination. Can you understand? With knowing the dependent origination, the way, that is the way to eradicate this fetter, this doubt. Then he will understand about the past life because of not knowing dependent origination, and about the future life, about this present life. This is, can you remember that we discussed this life is a production of what? Production of all karma. Then no doubt. Then he will understand, okay, this is life. Because of not knowing phone over two, I have been wandering this samsara. Is it clear? Okay. Now keep in your mind, is it clear the way of arising identity? Because of unwise consideration, he considers this conditioned 5 aggregates of clinging as mind, as myself. Is it clear? Is it clear the way to eradicate identity view? Yes. And is it clear the reason to arise doubt in your life? Is it clear? Okay. Then is it clear the way to escape from doubt? Okay. Then third one. He knows about noble eightfold path as a noble truth, path leading to cessation of suffering. So, his life is not covered with rituals and observances. He knows the way to escape from rituals and observances. So, that fetter is eradicated in his life. Rituals and observances. Is it clear? This is very, very important thing. We have to know about these rituals and observances. Now, how many fetters? 3 fetters. If someone is a straight entrant in his life, these 3 fetters are eradicated. The eradicating of these 3 fetters is escape from hell, animal world and God. But he will have to be reborn in human world and God's world. But he has escaped from the huge danger. Is it clear? Because of what? By eradicating 3 fetters. Now it's very important to know the way to eradicate these 3 fetters. Then, that noble disciple, his life is not covered with sensual desire. And he knows uppannasacca kāmarāgassa nissaranam. He knows the way to eradicate the arising sensual desire. So, that fetter is eradicated in his life. After eradicating first 3 fetters, now there are another 2 fetters. Law fetters. Now 5 law fetters. So then, to achieve non-returners state, then that extreme entrant will have to eradicate other 2 fetters. If he can eradicate other 2 fetters, then no matter if he has a lay follower, then he is a one non-returner, anattaro. He will not come to this human world or deva's world. He will be reborn in pure abode in Mahāmālunkyasutta. There he will attain parinibbāna, ultimate deliverance. But on the way, by attaining the extreme entrance level and to the point of attaining non-returner state, then there is the noble disciple, once returner, sakkayadithi. In his life, these other 2 fetters are, that means stealing, yes,
not fully eradicated.
Not fully eradicated, but it's something thin, yes, sensual desire and ill deeds. Here meaning is, the noble disciple, he knows the way of arising sensual desire. What is the reason to arise sensual desire in a life? Sensual desire means the desire to see beautiful forms, to hear sweet voices, sounds, to smell odors, to taste, and to experience the comfortable, tangible. This is called sensual desire. So, what is the reason to arise this sensual desire in the mind? Remember, the reason is subha nimitta. That meaning is perception of attractiveness. He perceives the things as beautiful, as attractive, subhanimitta. He considers objects as beautiful. And he appreciates those things. Oh, very nice, very beautiful. Can you understand? Then he considers unwisely. Because of perception as attractive, then he considers unwisely. This is the reason to arise sensual desire. But what is the way to eradicate sensual desire? He considers objects as impermanent, as unattractive, as false. Can you understand? As ugly. The real nature of the things. It is called wise consideration. Can you understand this one? This is not a difficult one. Now we say, okay, let's suppose the last, how to call that, Miss America. I heard that one. Miss World in this way. When we watch her figure, what is there? What are they? We can see at once only 5 things. Head hair, body hair, fingernails, teeth, but if it smiles, okay? Teeth and skin. Only these 5 things. But now you think, if we take some head hair and we keep on the table, and we keep from, you cut your fingernails, piece of fingernail is here. Okay? Then you go to dentist, and you ask, if you are asked to remove your teeth, and the doctor is ready to give you the teeth. Okay, you can bring this one. Will you bring that one to home? No. When we separate, when we divide these things, the real nature is unattractive. Can you understand? But when we see as a collection, then that unwise consideration will come as attractive. But the real nature is unattractive. Unattractiveness. False. This is the real nature of this body. So that noble disciple considers in this way, oh, this is the reason to arise sensual desire. And when a sensual desire comes to your mind, you try to use your wise consideration in that way, as Buddha understood, and Buddha explained, divide your body or others' body into 32 parts. How many parts? 32 parts. But we notice only 5 parts. Because of that deluded perception, then the passion, desire and all these defilements come to our mind. But the real nature is totally different from the way we perceive it. So this is, now can you understand the nature of a fetter? It is there here in the depth of our mind. That's why it's very difficult to escape from this samsara. But this is a very, very great opportunity to understand these things and to use our wise consideration. Otherwise we will not be able to find an end of this journey. Because of this sensual desire, doing all the things the people they do. They kill others and they quarrel each other. Lot of things because of this sensual desire. And forming is not only about this physical body. Form is all the things derived from soul-based elements. So people are struggling with these elements, but those are impermanent. Here, that noble disciple has that knowledge. he knows the way to eradicate sensual desire. Then he considers wisely. Is it clear? Okay, then in his life, ill will, that fetter, his life is not covered with that ill will. He knows the way to eradicate ill will. What is the reason to arise ill will in the mind? Patigha-nimitta. You take an object with anger. Okay? Then again and again you think about that one. Then what will happen to your mind? Covered with anger and ill will. Then what is the way according to the teachings to eradicate that ill will? Practicing loving kindness. When you practice loving kindness thoughts, then that ill will be eradicated. Then that noble disciples, like in this way, all the 5 fetters will be eradicated. Now, Buddha explains Ananda, Venerable Ananda. There is a path, Ananda, to eradicate these law of fetters, 5 law of fetters. And there is a way to eradicate these 5 law of fetters. But if someone says without following that path, I can eradicate those 5 law of fetters. Netam thanam vijjati. It is impossible. It is like this. There is a large tree. Now that person, he wants to get the hard wood of that tree. Then he says, okay, I get that hard wood without cutting the bark of that tree and the sapwood of that tree, then I want to get that hardwood. Is it possible? No, then Buddha explains, it cannot be happen. But there is a way, there is a path to eradicate 5 law of fetters. If someone can follow that way, then it is possible to eradicate 5 law of fetters. It is like this. That person, he wants to get that hardwood, so cutting bark and cutting sapwood, removing those things, then he gets that hardwood. Then it is possible. In this way Buddha explains, suppose Ananda, the river Ganga, that river in India, yes, was full of water. Then there comes a weak person, feeble person, he comes near to that river saying, oh, now I want to go across from this stream. Saying in this way, he says, I shall get across safely by swimming this stream. Then Supreme Buddha asks, will he be able to go through this stream? He is a weak person, feeble person. Will he be able to go? No. He cannot go. He cannot swim across this stream. Then Buddha explains, in this way, when I teach about the cessation of sakkāya, cessation of identity, and when I teach about nibbāna, about the deliverance, when I teach this Dhamma to eradicate identity view, then that if someone's mind is not happy with that Dhamma, if someone is not happy with that Dhamma, then if he doesn't acquire confidence about this Dhamma, about the cessation of identity, then he can be regarded as like that feeble man, that weak person. Can you understand this one? So, when you talk with impermanence and about this unattractiveness, about these things, there are persons, they do not like to listen to this one. Can you understand? They do not like to accept. So those people are like very weak persons, feeble persons. They will not be able to escape from this identity. Again and again they will have to be reborn with this identity. Then Buddha explains, again there is another person. He comes near to this river, and this river is full of water. So crowds could drink water from that river very easily. So then that strong man, for the second time, that person is very strong person. Then that strong person, he came thinking that by swimming across the stream with my arms, I shall get safely across from this to the further shore of this river. Then Buddha asked, would he be able to swim across this stream? Yes. Why is that? Because he is a strong person. Then Buddha explains, so too, when the Dhamma is being taught about the cessation of personality, about this Nibbana, about Four Noble Truths, if someone's if he acquires confidence, if he is happy about this Dhamma, then he is like that strong person. Then he will be able to escape from this samsara. Then Buddha explains, what is the way to eradicate these 5 laws of fetters? Do you like to know about that one? Are you happy? Okay. Then you are like that strong person. Otherwise, if you are owing and if you want to sleep, you are like that feeble person, that weak person. Okay. So don't think to sleep. This discourse is actually not difficult, but we must try to understand. Now this is very important part of this discourse. Okay, all the parts are important, but you listen very carefully this one. This is the way to eradicate that law of fetters. So one day, any day, somehow, we must follow this path to eradicate those 5 law of fetters. Otherwise, those 5 law of fetters will lead to give the rebirth of again and again in this lower world. Okay? Now this is the meditation. From this point, you will be able to learn about meditation, about sharing meditation and insight meditation. This is the way. Now that monk, now he has the precepts. As a noble disciple, he follows precepts. Okay? He has the morality. Then he tries to develop meditation. It may be, now suppose he develops loving kindness meditation, or impermanent meditation, or breathing meditation. Okay? Now, step by step, his mind will be calm, and he will be able to keep his mind on that object of meditation again and again. Now that this is the nature of his concentrated mind, this is the way to achieve the first jhana, first level of concentration. Okay? Now can you remember anything? Let's suppose that you do breathing meditation or any kind of meditation, impermanent meditation. First of all, though you do the insight meditation or any insight meditation, first of all, you do not achieve the insight knowledge. At beginning, you will achieve the concentration because of that meditation. So now, with the abandoning of unwholesome states, like greed, hatred and those things, now you abandon those things from your mind. You clean your mind with what? With that meditative object. Again and again you think about it like that. May I be free from anger, may I be free from anger. In this way again and again you think. So then abandoning all the unwholesome states, then abandoning sensual pleasures and abandoning ill will, abandoning doubt, abandoning restlessness of mind, remorse, all these unwholesome qualities. Abandoning these qualities, then with applied and sustained thought. Applied thought means you take your volition or thought to that meditation, and sustain means again and again you think that one. You use that thought in your mind, okay? Then with rapture and pleasure, born of seclusion, then you live. In that moment, you have achieved first jhana. Is it clear? Now is the serene level, serene state of your mind, concentration, samadhi. Then again and again you develop that state, that condition of your mind, again and again, and steady. Okay? Then you turn your mind into the insight knowledge. Before you direct your knowledge to the insight condition, to understand the insight knowledge, you must know this Dhamma, about six faculties, about 5 aggregates of clinging. That's why we learn all those things. Okay? So now you direct your mind to understand, to identify the form of that samadhi. In that, now let's suppose now you are in the first jhana. In that jhana too, there are those 5 aggregates of clinging. Can you understand? Then you try to identify those 5 aggregates of clinging. Let's suppose you do breathing meditation. Now you try to understand form in that jhana. Then you will understand about your in and out breathing. It is contact with your body. Then you try to understand. Isn't there a feeling in that concentration? There is a feeling, pleasant feeling. You try to understand that one. Isn't there a perception? There is a perception. That's why you perceive your in-breathing, out-breathing, short breathing, long breathing. You perceive. It's called perception aggregate. Now in that jhana, then there is formation and consciousness. What is this? 5 aggregate of clinging. Now in that same jhana, you try to understand this one. Then Supreme Buddha explains with the great knowledge. Now you try to consider those 5 aggregates of clinging, Dhamme Aniccato, as impermanent. Now you convert to what? To insight knowledge. Okay? Now you consider about 5 aggregates of clinging in that same jhana as impermanent. Dukkato, as suffering. Why is that? Because in that concentrated level, Supreme Buddha explains, it is very easy to understand the real nature of these things. Can you understand? Then Sugato, 5 aggregates of clinging as a disease. Let's consider about 4. he considers this form as impermanent, as suffering, as a disease, gandato as a tumor, then sallato as an arrow, as a, do you know about that? This. As a barb, yes, as an arrow, as a head of an arrow, then agato as a calamity, that means as a danger, you consider this form is like a danger. That's why this form, as he mentioned, is subject to face with accidents. Why is that? This form is like a danger. Then parato, abhadato, this form is as an affliction. Parato, you consider this form that in this way, you consider I am not the owner of this form. This form is another. In this way, why? If someone is yours, then you can control that one. But you consider this is, I am not the owner of this form. You consider wisely. Then, palokato as a dissolution. This body. Sunyato as empty. Empty from what? Empty from self. Anuttaro as not self. In this way, when you consider, now is it clear? The way to convert from serene meditation to insight meditation. This is the way. This is the path. This is the path of coming through serene meditation into insight meditation. Now we consider again and again. He considers about these 5 aggregates of clinging to understand the real nature of the form, of the feeling, perception, formation and consciousness, about these 5 aggregates of clinging as impermanent, suffering, as a disease, in this way. Then again and again he considers, then again he directs his mind. Now step by step he will be able to understand, he will be able to understand step by step his clinging or attachment to these 5 aggregates of clinging is eradicated step by step. So he establishes his mind on the Nibbana element. Can you understand? So then he considers etam samtam. This is the perception of Nibbana element. Now, though you can't understand, you cultivate your pleasant mind or such a knowledge, our great teacher had. And in this way, those followers, noble monks, they achieved that Nibbana following in this way. That's why at the beginning I mentioned about that pleasant mind. That pleasant mind will help us to establish at least that factor of free entrance. Can you understand? Can you remember? Unshakable confidence of knowledge of Buddha. Then it's a factor of extreme entrance. Then he considers in this way. This is peaceful. Now he directs his mind about Nibbana. Now is this one clear? Is it difficult? What is the meaning of 5 aggregate of clinging, suffering or origin or cessation or path? What? 5 aggregates of clinging means what? Is that suffering, origin or what? It's suffering. 5 aggregates of clinging means suffering. Now he follows the path to eradicate the origin of 5 aggregates of clinging. Now he directs his mind to achieve what? Cessation of 5 aggregates of clinging. So what is the meaning of Nibbana? That same thing. Cessation from 5 aggregates of clinging. That's why when the attachment of clinging to 5 aggregates of clinging, step by step, when it is eradicated, now he directs his mind to achieve that Nibbana. Etam santam. This is peaceful. Etam panitam. This is sublime. That means amatayadhatuya, Nibbana element. About Nibbana element he considers yadidam sabbha sankhara samato. That means eradicating all formations. Sabbhupati patinissaggo, eradicating all commerce, all arranging of commerce. Thannam krayo, without craving, eradicating craving. This is the nature of that Nibbana element. Virago, with destruction of dispassion, that means passion. Now dispassion, nirodha, cessation, nibbana. Nibbana, the real happiness. Now he directs his mind to understand this Nibbana element. Is it clear? The earlier we discussed about the nature of that element. Free from craving, passion, and the cessation from craving, cessation of 5 aggregates of clinging. This is peaceful. This is sublime. Then, because of this effort, because of this process, this gradual process, then Buddha explains, Teneva asavanam khayam papunati. Then he will be able to eradicate all the taints. If someone eradicates taints, what will happen with him? He will eradicate birth. He will not be reborn again. So how to call that nobody happens? He is an araham. Okay? Then, if he couldn't achieve the arahantship, because of this gradual training and because of this desire to practice this Dhamma, desire to achieve the cessation of suffering, desire to achieve that Nibbana. Now can you understand there is a desire to achieve Nibbana? Because of desire, there is that word, Teneva Dhamma ragena. Ragena means desire. Desire to what? To achieve that Nibbana element. Because of this Dhamma nandiya, because of that joy. Panchanam orambhāgiyam samyojanam parikkaya. Eradicating. Can you remember now? Those 5 laws of fetters, opapātiko hoti. Spontaneously, tattva parinibbāna, he will be reborn in pure abode. Then he will attain parinibbāna there, without get rebirth again. Okay? Ayam ananda maggo, ananda. This is the path. Ayam patipada. This is the way of eradicating 5 laws of fetters. Now is it clear? Now is it clear the way to attain arahantship even from first jhana? Can you understand? By developing first jhana, noble disciple can attain arahantship. Or if he couldn't attain arahantship in this very life, he will attain non-return state, anādāni. Then in this way, they explain. Now is it clear the way the noble disciple comes from the serene meditation to insight meditation? Yes. How did he do that one? By developing first jhana, he considers, first of all he identifies what? 5 aggregates of clinging in that jhana. Then he considers that one in what way? As impermanent, as suffering, as a disease, as a tumor, yes, as a danger, yes, empty from self, and as a arrow, and as a thing, the owner of that another thing is not yours. In this way he considers. as sunyato, as empty from a self in this way. Then Buddha explains, in this way, a noble disciple develops the second jhana. He develops, another noble disciple develops third jhana and fourth jhana. In any jhana, noble disciple can do the same thing. Can you understand? Then he develops formless jhanas, noble disciples. Ākāsamajjayatana, the base of infinite space and base of infinite consciousness, vijjācaranasampanno, and base of ākiccanyāyatana, nothingness. He develops these formless jhanas. In those formless jhanas also he does the same thing. Can you understand? So what is the result? In this very life he will achieve the arahancy, or non-returnership state. Arahat or anagama. Now what do you think about the last formless jhana? Did I mention that one? No, because our great teacher didn't mention that one. There are four formless jhanas. Last one is the neva sanya na sanya. Neither perception no perception. In that jhana, Buddha understood, it's very, very difficult to understand five aspects of clinging because that jhana is very, very smooth. It's not a gross one. Cannot perceive these things like when you are sleeping in that jhana. Can you understand? So they will explain, in this way, noble disciple will be able to direct his mind to understand the real nature of five aspects of clinging, and by directing his mind about the Nibbana element, thinking this is peaceful, this is sublime, relinquishing all the praying, abandoning all the karma, the distraction, cessation, Nibbana, in this way. Is it clear? Okay, this is the way that those arahants they followed and they attained arahancy. Now, at the end of this discourse, and at the end of, now can you remember that Málunkyaputta, though he answered wrongly, but it was very, very helpful us to know these things, okay, about five fetters. And then Venerable Ananda asked, why? If it is so, Bhante, why there are some noble disciples, they attain this arahancy by developing all the form jhanas and formless jhanas, and others attain arahancy only by developing to the fourth jhana, first four jhanas. Why is this difference? Do you know the name to know to the arahants who attain arahancy by developing first jhanas, first four jhanas? Panya vimutti, liberated by wisdom. And next arahant, ceto vimutti, liberated by mind. I have told all these things to you, okay? With the help of this Supreme Buddha's knowledge, okay? Panya vimutta means liberated by wisdom. That arahant develops only the first four jhanas and the insight. Okay? And ceto vimutta means he develops his mind to the highest level of concentration. Okay? Then develop insight. Ceto vimutta. Then why is this difference? Can you understand this one? If someone can develop first jhana, then it is very easy to attain arahancy from that first jhana. But all the noble disciples don't do that way. Some develop higher jhana. Why is this? Then Buddha explains, it is the difference of their faculties. Some can develop their mind to the higher level. It is the difference of in their faculties, I say, Ananda. So then that is what the Blessed One said, and then this was the Mahāmālunkyaputta discourse about that, and then that all the monks and the Venerable Ananda was that they were satisfied and delighted in the Blessed One's words. So is it clear about these things? Is that discourse difficult?
Maybe we should do it again.
Yes.
But you learn a lot of things, isn't it? About law of fetters,
Yes.
about law, and it's very clear about this path, where comes the serene meditation and insight meditation. Now can you understand the importance of learning about 5 aggregates of clinging, about 6 faculties, about 4 noble truths? The reason is, though one develops his concentration to the highest level, if he hasn't the knowledge about 4 noble truths, then that concentration is useless. Can you understand? Okay. So that's the reason. So it doesn't matter, though you can't understand. Okay? I don't think in that way, but this I, as possible as I can, I try to explain this one. Okay? Yes. Now, when you go home, again and again you think. And you think this is your pleasant mind. Oh, great knowledge, great in this way. Okay? Then it will help you to have the understanding. So I like to bless you. May all of us and you have the opportunity to develop your serene meditation and insight meditation, and to eradicate all 5 law of fetters and higher fetters. You will have the opportunity. May have the opportunity to understand 4 noble truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.